radially outwards from the axis of the cylinder, that is z axis. Okay, radially outwards. Okay, then um, say I know d bar, but see here they are telling simply surface. Okay, simply surface. How many surfaces are possible generally for a cylinder? uh, the lateral surface is possible, upper surface, top surface is possible, and bottom surface also possible. So how I can split this integral top, double integral top, and double integral bottom. Okay, then double integral lateral surface, okay, is equal to q. And from your experience, there will not be any flux that will be going to top, so that is zero. There will not be any flux. Okay, flux is going radially outwards. Okay, if you measure what is the flux going through top portion, there is nothing. Okay, flux will always go radially outwards. Again, through bottom surface also there will be no flux. Okay, once again if you compute this integral, definitely that will be zero. So again, this is our interest, because fluxes are going laterally. Okay, fluxes are going in a lateral surface. Okay, so what is the idea? So again, for a lateral surface, this is like double integral only lateral. Okay, because remaining thing is zero. Double integral lateral d dot ds, okay, is equal to q. Okay, then what is ds for lateral surface? Okay, what is ds for lateral surface? Because if you are on a lateral surface, say if you are on a lateral surface here or here, once if you are on a lateral surface of the cylinder, what is constant? That your radius is constant, then remaining things will vary. Okay, pi will vary and z will vary. The variation in pi is called rho d pi. The variation in z is called dz. The variation in z is called dz. Okay, then what is the direction? Okay, once if you calculate it as like a vector, then what is the surface vector? Okay, for the lateral surface, always the surface vector will be in which direction, sir? A rho cap direction. Okay, a rho cap direction. So once if you replace all these things, say double integral, or otherwise I will use this in the next one. In the next page I will write this. Okay, integral d dot ds, okay, is equal to q. I know what is d. D means a magnitude. A rho cap. ds means what, sir? Variation in the surface, that is rho d phi, and d is that, and then clearly here also vector is a cap, that is equal to q. Okay, then for a lateral surface, rho is constant. What is variable? Pi, angle is variable, and height is variable. So what is the pi variation? 0 to 2 pi. What is the height variation? 0 to some height. Here we have chosen only height of h, so that's why I'm putting, instead of z I am putting h here. Okay, so again dot product of these two is 1. Dot product of these two is 1. And clearly this d bar is function of what, sir? D bar is, again from your previous experience, d bar is function of only radius. Okay, function of only rho. Okay, function of only rho. But what is the variable here? Variable is pi and z. Okay, that means what, you can take d bar outside, and rho also you can take outside. Okay, one you take these two outside, d bar and rho, and then you are with the remaining things 0 to 2 pi and 0 to h. Okay, d pi dz is equal to q. So once we do this integration, okay, uh, this is 2 pi and this is h. Okay, and what is q? Okay, in the beginning we have calculated what is q. Q is what, sir? Q is equal to rho l into h. Q you can replace with rho l into h. Okay, rho l into h. Okay, rho l means line charge density into h, and rho means what? Radius of the cylinder. Rho means what? Radius of the cylinder. In this case, what is the radius we have assumed? A. What is the radius we have assumed? A. Okay, so again d bar, okay, a 2 pi. Okay, anyway h cancels. Okay, these two you can cancel out, rho l. So finally what is the d bar? Your d bar magnitude is equal to rho l divided by 2 pi a And from this, if you want to write as a vector, d bar is equal to rho l divided by 2 pi a and a rho cap. Okay, a rho cap. And this is the electric flux density. From this, if you want to know electric field is equal to what, sir? Rho l divided by 2 pi epsilon a rho cap. Okay, this is the final answer of electric field and electric flux density in a case of infinite line. Okay, with the help of Gauss law, you can very easily derive the answers, electric flux or flux density. Okay, is it okay? Can I move to next one? Surface electric field due to surface infinite sheet. Yes, somebody tell me.
Okay, sir.
Yes, okay. Now I will move to next one, surface charge. Okay, E field due to infinite sheet of charge. Okay, first I take some infinite sheet. Okay, infinite sheet. Over infinite sheet, charges are spread over the infinite sheet, and very clearly that surface charge density in the sheet is rho s coulomb per meter square. Rho s coulomb per meter square. Surface charge density rho s coulomb per meter square. Now I take some imaginary cube or cuboid. Okay, imaginary cube or cuboid. Say in this manner. Uh, See, please note down clearly. This is my imaginary surface. Okay, again, depending on the situation, you have to take the imaginary surface. For point charge, your imaginary surface has to be in the shape of sphere. For a line charge, your imaginary surface has to be in the shape of cylinder. Okay, for this one, your imaginary surface has to be in a cuboid nature. Okay, cuboid nature in some kind of rectangular shape in a 2-dimension. Okay, now I take some imaginary surface like this. Some imaginary surface. Okay, this is the imaginary surface. Again, this side is A, this side is say B. Okay, A and B. Now, what is the charge? Okay, what is the charge enclosed by this imaginary surface? Definitely, it is like a closed surface. It will form some finite value here. Definitely, it will form some finite value here. What is the charge present in the finite surface? Okay, you are on the infinite sheet, but you have taken some imaginary surface. Okay, imaginary closed surface. What is the charge enclosed by that imaginary surface? What is the charge enclosed by the imaginary surface? Anyway, you know what is the charge density, surface charge density. Then you should know what is this area. Once if you imagine this area is equal to this area, A and B. Okay, this area is equal to this area. So what is the charge enclosed? Okay, in the imaginary surface, the total flux or total charge. Okay, again, what is this total flux? This is a flux that will be coming outside this imaginary surface. This is the flux, total flux that will be coming outside the imaginary surface. So total flux is equal to total charge. Okay, double integral rho s yes rho s into ds. Okay, rho s into ds. Again, this is a regular shape, so rho s into a into b. Very simple. Okay, you should know this area. This area is equal to this area. Okay, rho s into ab, rho s into ab. Okay, this is the total charge. Okay, now um, now Gauss law, you apply Gauss law. According to Gauss law, d bar dot des is equal to q, again q total. Q is equal to what, sir? Q total. Okay, again, how many, you have chosen some imaginary closed surface. How many surfaces will be there? Generally 4 surfaces will be there. Generally 6 surfaces will be there. 4 will be in a sides, and one at the top, and another one at the bottom, another one at the bottom. But from your experience, okay, you know what will be the final direction of the electric flux. See, the electric flux will be going in this direction only. That is what, exactly perpendicular to the sheet, or otherwise it may be coming in this direction also, in the bottom downward direction. Okay, exactly again also perpendicular, but it is going in the downward direction. Okay, this is the direction of the electric field. Again, you know, once if you have some vector like this, what is the direction of this one is z cap. Okay, because that direction is going towards z, so it is z cap direction. Okay, uh, as a as an integral, you are having, say, um, double integral, say side surfaces, definitely 4 side surfaces will be there, and double integral, one is at the top and another one is at the bottom. Okay, there are 6 surfaces. Okay, again, from your understanding, it is very clear that either the flux is going up or down. Then what is the amount of flux that will be coming outside like this? That is 0. There will not be any flux at all in this way. Okay, the flux that is coming out of the side surfaces is 0. So once if it is 0, even if we calculate this integral for 4 surfaces, okay, 4 sides, then answer will be 0. So only in this case and in this case you will get a finite answer. Okay, you will get some answer. Okay, now we'll concentrate on only this value. Okay, top and bottom. Okay, top and bottom. Anyway, this is 0. Okay, now uh, now I will calculate only this one. Okay, this one, because this one is 0. Okay, once if you substitute, this is 0 anyway, but once I'm interested in top and bottom. Okay, if you do substitution, say for example, for top, okay, for top portion, suppose double integral d modulus a z cap, what is the ds for top one? Okay, variation in x and y. Okay, this is like a variation in x, variation in y, because you are at some height. Okay, the variation is only in the x or y. So again, dx dy, but what is the vector? Once if you take some surface like this, definitely the vector will be like this only. Again, the vector is a z cap only. Again, the vector is a z cap. Okay, and again, what is the limit here? This is varying from 0 to a, and this is going from 0 to b. This is going from 0 to b. Okay, these are all limits. Okay, some 0 to a or some 0 to b. Once similarly, if you concentrate on this one, here also 0 to a, 0 to b, but in the bottom surface, electric field is going in the minus z cap direction. In the minus z cap direction. So d bar minus a z cap dot product, okay, dx and dy. Here also, what will be the surface vector, sir, for this surface? For this surface, what will be the surface vector? I have clearly told, for any closed surface, surface vector is a vector that will be going outside, not inside. So that is also minus a z cap. Then finally you are getting q. Finally you are getting q. So once if we solve this, what it will come? D bar magnitude a into b. Okay, again here also d bar magnitude a into b is equal to q. Already q we have seen. What is the value of q, sir? Value of q is rho s into ab. Okay, this is like rho s into ab. Okay, once if you add these two, 2d bar AB is equal to rho s into AB. Anyway, AB cancels. Again, d bar is equal to rho s by 2. Okay, d bar. Okay, so d bar is equal to rho s by 2. D bar magnitude. Magnitude of d bar is rho s divided by 2. Now, uh, what is the d bar? Okay, d bar is equal to what's our rho s by 2, rho x by 2, a is at cap. This is what's our above the plane. Okay, if you are calculating above the surface, if you are interested in a point where above the surface, this is the answer. Or if your point is below the surface, rho s by 2 minus a z cap. Okay, rho is at minus a z cap. This is below the surface. Below the surface. Again, from this you can calculate what's our electric field also. Okay, rho s divided by 2 epsilon a is at cap. Similarly, sorry, electric field is equal to what's our rho s divided by 2 epsilon, but minus a is at cap. Okay, this is the final answer. This is for above the surface. This is for the below the surface. Okay, this is the application of Gauss law to find out the electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Okay. Yes, I all noted down. Okay, this is where we have started. Okay, electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Okay, this is the idea. Okay. Yes, Sati, is it okay? Yes, everyone.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then I will go to next. I'll go to next. Charge distribution. Okay, the nature of the electric field distribution. Okay, we'll see in all the cases how it is looking. Okay. Even if you not taking the notes, no problem. Anyway, I think I can share this with you. It is automatically getting saved, all these pages, so I can share with you. But it is better you take notes yourself. Okay. So first, we'll see what is the charge distribution in the conductor. Charge distribution in conductor. Again, conductor also, there are two types of conductor. One is solid conductor and another one is hollow type of conductor. First, I take a solid conductor. I am having, this is like a solid conductor, sir. Please note down, this is like a solid conductor. A solid in the sense what entirely it's made of solid. Even inside, this is made of solid. This is like a solid conductor. Okay, then in a solid conductor, what I am trying to do, I am trying to introduce some charges somehow, but I don't know how to do, but I am trying to introduce some charges. Okay, see my, like I am trying to introduce charges in the middle, exactly in the center point of the solid. Okay, say if you imagine as a sphere, you go to the center point and then you somehow you introduce a charge inside the sphere. Okay, then what will happen after few times? What will happen after few times? From our basic understanding, according to Coulomb's law, what will happen once if they are very close to each other, force between them will be very, very high. Okay, force between them will be very, very high. Then they will be redistributed in such a way that the force between them is minimum. Okay, they will be redistributed. Okay, then how it will be redistributed? For example, if it is a solid conductor, then they will be redistributed in a uniform fashion. Say for example like this. Okay, if it is a solid conductor, they will be the charge will be redistributed like this. Okay, what is the idea? Why it is getting redistributed? See, once if they are very close to each other, okay, if they are very close to each other, what will happen? The force will be very, very high. Whenever the charges are very close to each other, then once if the force is high, again, they are all same charges, positive and positive. They will repel each other. Okay, they will repel each other. Okay, in such a way, the force between them is minimum. The force between them is minimum. That is the ஐடியா here. ஸோ அதனால ஒரு கண்டக்டர்ல நீங்க சார்ஜ் நீங்க என்னதான் ஒரு பாயிண்ட்ல நீங்க இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணாலும் அது என்ன ஆயிடும் சார்? இட் வில் கெட் யூனிஃபார்ம்லி டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டட். ஓகே, இட் வில் கெட் யூனிஃபார்ம்லி டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டட். அதுதான் சார் ஐடியா. ஓகே, ஒரு சாலிட் கண்டக்டர்ல நீங்க சார்ஜ் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அது யூனிஃபார்மா டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் ஆயிடும். பிகாஸ் ஃபோர்ஸ் பிட்வீன் தம் கூலும்ஸ் லா படி ஃபோர்ஸ் வந்து என்னது லெஸரா இருக்கும். எப்பவுமே ரெண்டு எலமெண்ட் இருக்குன்னா அதுக்கு இடையில ஃபோர்ஸ் வந்து கம்மியா இருக்க மாதிரி தான் அது ட்ரை பண்ணும். ஸோ ஒன்ஸ் இது போல வரும்போது அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது. Uniformly distribute ஆயிடுச்சு. Again some force will be there. With that force always it will be on the conductor. Okay, so this is the idea. Next I take another case. Instead of solid conductor, if I take hollow conductor, what will happen? Okay, if I take hollow conductor, okay, so this is a conductor, but in this case this is hollow. Hollow in the sense what, sir? Inside this completely free. Okay, free space. So but here also I am trying to introduce some charges. Okay, here also I am trying to introduce some charges on some portion, on the some edge. Say I am trying to introduce more number of charges here. Again, here also according to that principle, force, both force between the charges will be high. Again, they get redistributed. They get uniformly redistributed on the surface of the conductor. On the surface of the conductor, like this, it will get redistributed. Okay, I am drawing it on 2D, but please imagine these are all 3D. Okay, like this it gets redistributed on the surface of the conductor. Okay, this is the idea, sir. Okay, அதாவது சார்ஜஸ் இருந்தாலே அது வந்து யூனிஃபார்மா தான் இருக்கும். ஹாலோ கண்டக்டரா இருந்தா சர்ஃபேஸ்ல இருக்கும். சாலிட் கண்டக்டரா இருந்தா என்டையர் சர்ஃபேஸ்லயும் உங்களுக்கு என்ன இருக்கும்? எலக்ட்ரிக் ஃபீல்ட் இருக்கும். Okay, this is the idea. This is the idea of the charge distribution in the conductor and solid conductor. Now my next question is, what will be the electric field nature in these cases? What will be the electric field natures? Okay, one by one we will discuss. Okay, first we will see what is electric field nature due to point charge. Okay, say I am taking point charge. This is my point charge. Okay, my observation point is somewhere going like this. Okay, some fellow is observing here. See, this is my graph axis. Okay, in this graph, this is the distance. Okay, distance r, how far I am from point charge, and this is the electric field at any point. Electric field at any point. You know, whenever you are very close to the charge. Okay, if you stand here again, for this you can draw the imaginary sphere. Okay, if you are here. It's not visible. Wait, please. Okay, if you are here, what is your electric field? If you are here, what is your electric field? If you are here, what is your electric field? You can calculate. Okay, once if you are very close to the charge, your electric field will be very, very high. Okay, very, very high. But as you move away, your electric field will decrease. Finally, it will reach 0. Okay, what is this nature, sir? The nature of this electric field. Okay, electric field is what, sir? Q divided by, anyway, Q is fixed 4 by epsilon naught r square. Because as you go away from the charge, what is increasing? Your R is increasing. That's why your electric field is decreasing. Okay, electric field is decreasing. Okay, this is the nature for point charge. This is the nature for point charge. Okay, next, what is the nature for hollow conductor? Okay, now we have seen it for point charge. Then next I will go for hollow conductor. Okay, if it is a hollow conductor, what happens? First of all, you should know the distribution nature. Okay, whether what will be the electric field inside the hollow conductor. First of all, you should know that. First, we'll again, you know, in the hollow conductor, where will be the charges? The charges will be here. Okay, charges will be here. Suppose this is the hollow conductor, this is free space. So I can draw my imaginary circle here. I can go anywhere on this point, anywhere inside this sphere, because this is hollow. Okay, this is hollow. So suppose if I'm standing here, say I am standing here, my position is here. Okay, I am standing here. What is the electric field that I will observe? What is the electric field that I will observe? Definitely, if you consider the charges that is on the surface as a point charge, okay, charges on the surface as a point charge, definitely there will be some electric field in this direction. There will be another electric field in this direction, like this, like this. Okay, see, symmetrically electric fields are coming inside. Then what is the net electric field? Okay, what is the net electric field? So in this case, net electric field is 0. Okay, for this only I have given you one exercise. I don't know how many of you done it or not, but the net electric field in this case will be 0. Net electric field in this case will be 0, because electric field, see, these two are having equal strength but opposite sides, like this also. Okay, this is like a circular symmetry. Okay, you take any vector, definitely you will get a opposite vector with the same magnitude. Then finally you will get a net electric field 0. Then from this, what is observation? What is observation? Electric field inside the hollow conductor is 0. Electric field inside the hollow conductor is 0. Electric field inside the hollow conductor is equal to what, sir? 0. Okay, 0. Electric field irundhalum automatically adu enna aayidudhu, cancel aayidudhu. Electric field irundhalum automatically adu enna avudhu, cancel avudhu. Now again the question arises, say for example, I am like this. Okay, my charges are here. My charges are here. If I stand somewhere else other than center point, then what will happen? Okay, again here you will get electric field like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Your electric field will be there. Again, in this case also it is 0. In this case also it is 0. Okay, electric field is 0. Again, you can prove this with the help of mathematics. Okay, you take any point, then you try to calculate the force, electric field due to all other point on the surface. Finally it has to be 0. Okay, so in this case also 0. That's why in generalized statement we are telling electric field inside the hollow conductor is 0. Electric field inside the hollow conductor is 0. Then what is the electric field distribution? Okay, then what is the electric field distribution? If it is a conductor, charges are here, and I am choosing my imaginary surface just outside. This is my imaginary surface. But as per Gauss law, what is the electric flux density here? As per the Gauss law, what is the electric flux density? See, definitely electric flux density at this point is 4 pi some r square. This value I am taking as r. Okay, 4 pi r square, or otherwise, wait. What is the charge enclosed by your imaginary sphere? Total charge enclosed by your imaginary sphere is electric flux density into 4 pi r square. Okay, because the charges are on the surface of radius r, definitely the flux density at that point into 4 pi r square definitely has to give you qt. Okay, has to give you qt. So this is the total charge present in the system. So somehow this is finite, you will get some charge. Okay, some charge. So if somebody asks you what is the electric field here, say some random point, say this is r. What is the electric field here? Again, it is very simple. According to the Gauss law, electric field or electric flux density there is equal to what is the total charge? What is your new surface? Okay, what is your new surface? Q divided by 4 pi r square AR cap. Okay, AR cap. So what is actually happening? If you see here, okay, whenever you are inside the hollow conductor, Whenever you are inside the hollow conductor, your electric field value is 0. See, up to this point, you are inside the conductor. But once if you start go outside this hollow conductor, these are all like a free space. And again, suddenly what happens? Suddenly your electric field increases. Suddenly your electric field increases. Okay, then it start decreasing. This is the electric field distribution here. Okay, this is the electric field distribution. Okay, see, after this point, once if we cross that surface, you are getting the charge, effective charge. Once if you put a surface, you are getting the effective charge. Definitely there will be the electric field, but as the distance increases, it has to decrease. So at this point, what is the electric field at this point? Because here R is equal to R, so at this point electric field is Q divided by 4 pi R square. Q divided by 4 pi R square, or if it is electric field, you put epsilon here. So at this point, electric field is Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R square. See what is actually happening. Okay, formula point of view, if you see, this is formula point of view, if you see, this is as similar to putting the total charge QT as a point charge. Okay, this is as similar as putting the total charge as a point charge. Then you draw your imaginary surface. Okay, with R. See, in this case also you will get this electric field only. In this case also you are getting this electric field only. So mathematically they are same. Mathematically, what is happening? Actually, even if the charges are distributed like that, but a mathematical point of view, it is getting assumed that it is concentrated over a point. Okay, in the both cases you are getting same answer, but you will not get electric field in this area because this is a hollow conductor. Inside the conductor you cannot get the answer, but outside the conductor this formula will work. Outside the conductor this formula will work. Okay, this is the electric field distribution for this case. Okay, hollow conductor. Okay, yes, is it okay, sir? Can I go to the next case?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, next, electric field inside the solid conductor. Okay, I take some solid shape. Please remember, this is solid. Inside there will be a conductor. Inside, this is not free space. This is made of conductor. Okay, I will mention this is solid. Okay, solid conductor. But even if it is solid, I can put anywhere on my imaginary surface. Okay, I am drawing my imaginary surface here, or I can draw like this, or I can draw outside the solid also. Okay, once if I am standing here, who can contribute the electric field, sir? The charges that are present inside. See, according to the Gauss law, what we have seen, electric field contribution, you take any imaginary surface, electric field contribution at that surface is decided by the charge enclosed by that surface. That means what? If I take some point here, the charges here can contribute the electric field, but the charges here cannot contribute because that is the nature here. See, even if I take this surface, who can contribute? Those charges that are inside can contribute. The charges that are outside cannot contribute. Okay, that is the idea of the Gauss law, because it is clearly telling electric field or electric flux is depending on the charges that is present inside your imaginary surface. That is present inside your imaginary surface. Okay, as it is a solid conductor, can somebody tell me what is my Q, sir? My Q is equal to, can I take volume charge density, because this is a solid. Okay, this is a solid. Okay, my total Q, okay, total Q in the sense total solid, Q is equal to rho V, Q is equal to rho V into 4 pi R square. Is it okay, sir? 4 by 3, I think, sorry, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Sorry, wait a bit. Because volume charge density into volume of the, what is the volume of the sphere? 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, pi r cube. Okay, this is the total charge, sir. Total charge available in the total solid. Okay, total charge available in the total solid. Okay, then if I take imaginary surface like this, some small portion inside the solid, can anybody tell me it is depending on what, sir? Yes, anyone? How will be my nature of, what is my charge enclosed by this small volume, the small volume?
Royal.
Will it be like this? This is your total charge. Okay, please wait a bit. And it is very clear, if your R increases, definitely your Q also will increase. Your Q also will increase. So again, what is your total, what is your charge on the small surface is function of your R. How much R you are in your hand, how much R is in your hand. So again, what is the electric field? Okay, electric field depends on how much charge you are having. How much charge is in your hand depends on what is your radius of the imaginary surface, what is your radius of the imaginary surface. So the final result will be like this. Anyway, I'll give you the idea why it is like this. See, Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube into R. This is the electric field nature. Okay, you go anywhere here, your R can be anything. Okay, your R can be anything. But if you have doubt, say at this age, what will happen at this age? Small r is equal to what, sir? Capital R. Small r is equal to capital R. So once if you substitute that, what you are getting? 4 pi epsilon R square. Your regular answer you are getting. That's okay. Okay, so once if you, R is equal to R, your regular answer you are getting. Then what happens if R is greater than R? Okay, once if it is R is equal to R, you are getting this. This is for R less than R. This is for R is equal to R. Okay, then what happens if R is greater than R? What happens if R is greater than R? Okay, see, you see from this, whenever R is less than capital R, R is less than capital R, what will be the answer? See, in this case, R is 1. R is equal to R. If R is less than R, definitely you will be, this value is less than this value only. R, in some cases, R is greater than R. See, please, you analyze this equation. Okay, you are having this equation, you analyze for different value. For R less than R, what will come? For R equal to R, what is coming? For R greater than R, what is coming? Okay, next I have to analyze for R greater than R. Okay, then what will be the electric field nature? What will be the electric field nature?